Hello and welcome to Profitable Moment with Olutayo Somide. The concept of Profitable Moment with Olutayo Somide is to build that confidence in you, to enable you to explore, to break new grounds, to have a moment of, circumspection and a moment of deeper thoughts about things happening around us, and happening around you, and, taking decisions about issues and things. And today we are looking at what I call leaders of tomorrow leading today. And of course, you must have heard it said a lot of times about the youth being the leaders of tomorrow. Because we have this concept and notion that they need to pass through a rite of passage, a period of endorsement, a period of training, a period of validation before they can really be ready to take on the world. The unfortunate thing is that we do not think about the frustrating period, that period between childhood and adulthood. When we do, as adults, we do everything for them, to a period when they want to do things for themselves. They see the world differently from the way we see the world. They want to take on the world. Technology has brought the world together, daily shrinking the world, and they see things happening in other climes. And they want to question the status quo. They want to lead now. They don't want to wait. But most of the time, the reaction of the leaders and the elders in the community, in the society, wherever we find ourselves, to this challenge coming from the youth is when protocol response. And what do I mean by protocol response? Response being that, okay, there's this protocol that will be set up by the society, rules that have been set up by the society, either cultural, either traditional, either institutional, that we have set up. And so the youth needs to pass through this rite of passage before we can really trust and before we can really endorse them to say, yes, you are ready to lead. And that's why you see, in some environments, you still see people in their 70s and 80s still leading, not ready to yield for this younger one to take over. And when this younger one becomes a bit rebellious, a bit unruly, so to say, questioning the status quo, the second reaction comes in. Abandonment response. We abandon them. Okay, you want to lead. Now, take over. Lead. Without any support. No roadmap. We just abandon them. And we wait at the end of the road for them to fail, so that we can feel justified and be justified that really they were not ready. But because they agitated, we yielded the ground for them. But the most important response is that we should start seeing these young ones taking on the world. We should start seeing these young ones creating an environment that they will live, because most of the plans the leaders and elders lay out for this younger one are what they see in their own imagination. The future they believe they want to live, and not necessarily the future these younger ones want to live in. They see the future differently. They see the world differently. And they say, you cannot make plans for me in a world where you are not likely to be part of. They see the senior ones, the elderly ones, the leaders of today as making plans for a world where they are not likely to live in. For example, you cannot make the railways that I will want to live in the next 30, 40 years when you are not involving me, when you are not even likely to be around to use that. You cannot build the airports or the hospitals, medical facilities that will still be relevant in the next 40, 50 years. If you are not involving me, that is likely to still be around in 50 years if you are 70, 80 years old. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying leaders are visionless. Yes, they see well ahead. They know the world, the kind of world they want. But hey, are we involving the younger ones now, making them and building them as leaders that will take over tomorrow? Are we giving them the opportunity, or we're just abandoning them? I think our response should be the empowerment response, motivational response. I think instead of abandoning them, instead of being rooted with the notion that they need to go through a rite of passage, yes, a rite of passage is necessary, but should not be too long before we start crying these younger ones out. We need to support them, provide the necessary facilities and support for them, guide them, and wait for them at the end of the line, at the end of the journey, at the end of the road, to pat them and hug them when they succeed, to hug them when they fail. It is important that one way or the other, they will falter along the way. Our response should not be that of condemnation. Our response should not be that of negative criticism, but rather encouraging one. Because hey, the so-called leaders of tomorrow are indeed the leaders of today. That's Profitable Moment with Olutayo. See you again soon.